Today's video is all about GT Protocol, a Web3 AI execution technology that provides you with access to CeFi, DeFi, and NFT crypto markets through an all-in-one conversational AI interface. Today, we're going to be doing a deep dive into this project, looking into the team, the tokenomics, the overall fundamentals, and ultimately figure out whether this project has what it takes to make it to our portfolio for the up-and-coming bull run. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. But the question is this project the opportunity that we're looking for? GT Protocol. Guys, we're going to be doing a deep dive. We're going to be checking into this project, figuring out if it has what it takes to make it to our portfolio for the up-and-coming bull run. Are the fundamentals bullish? Should we be fundamentally bullish? And of course, as usual, we're going to be using the website, their official website, as the main platform to navigate this project to see if it has all the info we need moving forward. All right, so let's begin. Let's kind of go through this. Let's scrape through this website. As I mentioned, usually I want to critique this website because really it's the main platform. It's the main outlet of all the information. And as I can see here, there's a lot happening. There's a lot happening on this website to the point that it's a little bit confusing, a bit of disjointed presentation, but we'll do our best to kind of get through it. All right, so let's continue. It's available on Bybit, KuCoin, and many other exchanges. That's a very good thing. We'll get into that in a little bit more detail later. But guys, this thing is listed on all major exchanges. I think the only one that is missing is Coinbase, but it's got Binance, Bybit, KuCoin, MEXC, and many others. Trusted by, so they're not saying that these are partners, but they are people or organizations that are involved within their ecosystem some way or somehow. They definitely have some relationships here with these venture capitalists and some other exchanges and so on and so forth. So pretty good here. Let's keep on moving forward. We have an AI NFT experience, a shopping assistance. What else do we have? Let's keep on, see if we can scroll through this. AI crypto management. So those are their main features. It's an AI crypto manager, an AI NFT manager, and a AI shopping assistant. This is what I'm getting at. These are the key features of their use case, pretty much. All right, so you can get into a little bit more detail here. You can go you go shopping and you get an assistant offering you cash back or other different incentives. What else? Offers to enhance the growth of your crypto portfolio. Cashback offers, of course. Additional AI onboarding and mentoring throughout your crypto journey. Okay, that seems interesting, but an AI shopping experience. Basically, an AI that helps you shop around and look for product. AI crypto management, in this case, helping your portfolio management if you're new to trading and you're looking for that little bit of assistance. We got an AI powered auto trading feature, which, for some people it's very interesting. They want to get involved and see how AI can help their trading experience. But personally speaking, as a trader myself for many years, I've never ever found a strategy that involved any type of AI or any type of automation to be useful. The markets are very they move in very sporadic ways. They involve a lot of different confluence, and strategies definitely need to be updated over time depending on market conditions, and sometimes it requires a bit of a human intuition. I'm not saying that AI powered auto trading doesn't work. I'm just saying, guys, it has a lot to prove still, so it's still in speculation for me. Use AI to research for the best opportunities in the crypto investment deals. Okay, that could be very good because it can gather data and see where the flow is in and what different parts of the crypto space you should be investing in or looking for: IDO, staking, copy trading, and so on. I'm not a big proponent or fan of copy trading, so I'm not sure how that's going to be beneficial. So conduct in-depth on-chain and off-chain and market analysis. So guys, that is actually quite useful. That's one of the things that AI does very, very well, being able to collect an abundance of data and be able to synthesize new information from that data and give you insights. So for me, that is probably where I would find the most value. NFT management. I know the NFT space lately has been a little bit on the downturn and not really interesting lately, but of course, trading, buying and selling NFTs and create and sell your own NFTs. This is some of the key features of that. And then the AI shopping, back to that. All right, let's move on. Let's keep on scrolling. We have more KYC and audited. I don't like the terms KYC. A lot of crypto people involved in the crypto space don't like KYC features, but that's the name of the game, guys, if you want compliance and all of that. So Certic, which is good. Binance Link. You got Hackin, Coin Market Cap. I'm not sure how that's involved, but Certic is pretty much industry standard nowadays for, basically being auditing smart contracts. So that's a good thing. Introduction. So now we're in an introduction. So I'm not sure what this was, but this is the introduction here. And I'm assuming that this is a video or something happening, introduction. So you can see like it's a bit of confusion on the flow of this website. GTAI is the next gen Web3 crypto investment platform. So what is this? I feel like this is one of their features or their product offerings where, again, that helps you trade and invest, and AI trading investing. This is what they were referring to before. Access to crypto investments across DeFi, CeFi, and NFT markets. So be able, perhaps through API executions, being able to tap into the different decentralized and centralized DeFi or financial platforms. So that's probably very, very useful, especially going forward if we want AI to get involved in that nature. Not bad, pretty cool, I guess. Value proposition is there. The SDK, API SDK for developers that want to, create third-party applications and use the GT protocol. This is definitely something that will help them, improve their third-party ecosystem. Because right now, it does seem like the majority of all the projects that they have are all native to the GT protocol. There's no real third-party applications in this current state. So maybe this could help that go forward. AI crypto investment capabilities. I see that pretty interesting. So we're bouncing around to different ideas here. I can see that, again, I'm not sure how that fits in with this right here. Maybe you can produce software for this application. I'm not too sure, guys. Again, a little bit disjointed. And the tech, how it works. You can try to get through all of this flow chart to kind of give yourself an idea how things work. The user, crypto cashback, prompt requests, GT protocol. Then you have your retail partners. Then you have swaps and bids and deal execution, staking commands. So you can see how this GT protocol can basically tap into the retail aspect of their product of offerings, and then the DeFi and CeFi product offerings, and then you have your AI infrastructure with OpenAI. I'm not sure how that works out with OpenAI. And yeah, I would like to know more a bit about that anyway. But let's move on. AI startup growth. So you can see that what they're trying to say is that all products have unique ability to quickly attract and engage a large number of users. AI right now is definitely front running a lot of this new technology that's in the market. Some of them is not even that new, like Facebook, Dropbox, some older. Just basically what this graph is saying is that AI is killing it. All right, that's where the majority of eyes are at right now. Interest is on AI, and we could expect that because GT protocol is part of that narrative. GT protocol could definitely ride that wave of popularity. So pretty good, 100x popularity here. Let's keep on moving on. This has to do with the adoption curve, of course. Lots of adoption in the AI, and not only adoption, but again, speculation where people are willing to invest and get involved, and not only invest money money, but time and effort and building and creating utilities and so on and so forth. So I feel like that is obviously in tune with where we should be allocating our capital. Let's keep on going. Track record, okay, 100% coin payment, okay, user been registered, has been generating revenue, okay, so they're definitely profitable, making revenue. They got users, and crypto products have already been launched, only 3. Okay, so we're still very small, we're very young here. Okay, let's move on. Again, a little bit bouncing around back and forth. Dive into the AI auto trading. So now we're back into the trading type of conversation of things. Super AI trading indicator, earner 3000. This sounds like some very technical thing. This is the AI trading. I'm assuming a bot or an indicator that is informed by the data that it collects off the market, off the centralized exchanges and the DeFi and all of that. Receive automatic triggering notifications to your smartphone. This is a lot of people are looking for things like this. Finding the easy shortcut to get into crypto, to easy trade, using some sort of indicator, especially one that has AI, sounds very enticing. However, guys, I do encourage that each and every one of you educate yourselves on what trading is all about, so you understand the fundamentals. Being dependent on a tool like this means that you're not a trader. In fact, all you're doing is copy trading, and the reality is that's one of the GT protocol value propositions, is to be able to copy trade. And personally speaking, like I said, I don't really believe in the value in AI right now in this type of form, given that the market is very, very unpredictable, and you need to have strategy that is fluid. You can't have something that is very stagnant, and AI relies on machine learning, relies on data, relies on existing data. And for me, that means that it's slightly behind. It's lagging behind the data that is available. So if you have a market condition that switches very instantly, how are you going to prepare for that scenario? That's just my 2 cents, guys. Obviously, do your own research with regards to that. And integration of TradingView, we know that this is a very, very popular platform for executing in traditional markets, executing positions. And for crypto, it's popular for getting those charts, those up-to-date charts and price action, and doing all that technical analysis. But of course, as a fundamentalist myself, I like looking on the charts on my own. So if you feel like an integrated AI on TradingView might be useful, of course, that's a great value proposition. AI shopping assistance, we're back to the shopping assistance. You see how this website kind of just takes you through a journey that is really, really disjointed. So we're back here to the AI shopping assistant with cashback and GTAI token. So you get cashback, you shop through the app, you get cashback in GTAI, of course, rewarding you to use the platform for your shopping needs. If that's interesting, obviously, that's great. Ecosystem, GTAI, task management at core, AI shopping assistance, and GTAI token. So for now, we can see that the ecosystem is very, very internalized. If we click this, we get a bit more information. It's very native. There's no third-party applications at the current moment. So it's a robust ecosystem in the sense that the tools that they offer are very, very detailed and have a lot of good value. But it seems like there's no real core competency other than AI, and all these other features on top, all the other applications of AI are just meshed together, which doesn't show me a clear direction. Are we a e-commerce platform? Are we an AI chat platform? Are we a trading platform? What are we? Are we all of them? Sometimes being spread across too many narratives or too many ideas doesn't allow the ecosystem to focus on growth in a particular narrative. And this is where I see there could be a little bit of an issue. But so far, so good. And of course, the website does give you that feel, because it's pulling you to too many directions, up and down, all over the place. You feel almost as you read the website that you're disjointed, that you don't know where the project is going. Crypto AI concierge. So all of a sudden they have a concierge, the shopping, auto trading, again, AI indicator. We have a lot of crypto signals, a lot of things happening in different narratives. Again, lots of repetition. Now we're going back to this thing. Let's keep on going. Media writes about them. Okay, Binance Square. These are all blog posts, I guess, on independent outlets. 70K customers love the GT protocol. I'm sure they do. It has great stuff there. And you can see I earned almost 47% profit last month. And many traders do this without AI, right? This is something that a lot of individuals do on a daily basis, make great gains trading crypto using traditional technical analysis. So if that's your thing, obviously do your research, and education is key. Backers. I'm most interested in the backers because this brings in a big conversation. The conversation is basically GT protocol is liquid. They got capital. They have capital to work with, and this is directly related to the fact that they are listed on major exchanges, on many exchanges, of which require some liquidity, of which require a fee, and a very expensive one for that matter. And we're noticing that a lot of projects that are, let's call it fair launch, they don't have the liquidity available or the capital available to get listed on exchanges without crowdfunding, which is a little bit of an issue, of course. So there's a bit of a trade-off. If you want, a nice launch that is, fair, ultimately the team or the DAO does not have the capital to get listed on exchanges, which sometimes holds back the volume, holds back the growth and popularity of the coin. Now, in this case, because they have backers, they also have early investors in seed rounds, and they have early stakeholders that are holding tokens at a very early stage at a discount. And this is where the fair launch aspects becomes a little bit unfair. However, we know that GT protocol has cash, and because they have cash, they have marketing dollars, and they have also listing dollars to get listed on exchanges. So there's the trade-off. The trade-off is, do we do fair launch and have pretty much a project without liquidity, or do we have a project with lots of backers but not really a fair launch? And the fear is dilution over time as tokens get unlocked. Those early investors, those early stakeholders will potentially sell on the market, and that sell pressure will dilute the price for current holders. So this is something to consider, right? This is a really good thing to see that there are backers, venture capitalists there, Red Swiss and Shima and GRC doing their thing, GSR doing their thing, providing liquidity, but then of course at what cost? The cost is that these dudes are probably holding a bunch of tokens. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a second. Retail vendors, okay, this is more like ecosystem, collaboration, like eBay, Etsy, all these, it's just ecosystem growth type of thing. The more vendors they have, the better it is for their retail bot that they got going on, their retail AI. Pretty good stuff, and more. They got more 500 plus other retail vendors in their network, which is good. Now, crypto partners, and I like the fact that they're also including technical integrations, because a lot of these are not really partners. The most of them are just exchanges. Now, I'm not trying to downplay that this is not a good thing. I'm just saying they're not really partners. Like if Mexi decides to delist them for whatever reason, or Binance or whatever, it can happen in a heartbeat. There's no real technical partnership or partnership that is strategic here. It's just a listing. So we got to understand this is where the coin gets listed and provides liquidity to the market. So Binance, Huobi, OKX, KuCoin, and many others. And you can see we got OpenSea on board and many others. So I don't really see any strategic partnerships here, to be honest, with their crypto partners. I just see a lot of exchanges, and Chainlink as an oracle is not really a partner in this case. They're an oracle that many projects use to use as data feed. So are they really strategic partners? In my opinion, not so much. Let's move on. I'm very critical when websites post all kinds of logos without real explanations and so on. Like, what about if we clicked Binance? What happens? Nothing. Let's move on. Coin payment rating. Of course, GT protocol has a 100% rating on coin payments, according to, I'm not even sure what that is. And to be honest, it sounds bullish. It sounds great. Let's see what it is. Let's click. coin payments, view feedback. Okay, so good feedback everywhere. I'm not even sure how that relates. I have a feeling that relates to the shopping experience type of thing. Leadership in the team. Okay, so the team is pretty robust in the sense that we can see it's a very well-developed team. Lots of individuals and advisors involved, which is interesting. And then I did do a little bit of research into the top two, with CEO and the CBDO. And if we open these up in new tabs and we take a look at what they're all about, just quick, the CEO is definitely, has blockchain experience, is about different blockchain exchanges. What else do we have here? What concerns me the most is pretty much this, and I'm not sure what RoboSoft is. It's a blockchain and cybersecurity IT company, tools and technologies. And you can see that basically he's presently employed, right? He's presently employed as the chief officer of this company, of RoboSoft. But at the same time, he's also full-time a chief executive officer at GT Protocol. So that starts to question, like, what is his commitment to the actual protocol? Like, is he, is this a hobby? Is it a part-time thing? Is it in conjunction? Is it, is it something where they work together? And when I see this type of thing, I just focus on, how much effort is being put here, okay, into the protocol itself, and how is he being spread thin in with his other obligations, below, right? Self-employed and so on and so full-time. I don't know. A lot of this, he has other obligations, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, look, it's something to just understand. Like, people, tend to take on a lot of commitment. And the question is, how much commitment can be placed to GT Protocol? And then if you look at this dude right here, GT Protocol, he's has some blockchain experience. Particularly, he's a crypto enthusiast and blockchain investor. So it seems like, and I couldn't find any educational background, but based on his experience, I can see, of course, he's full-time co-founder of GT Protocol, but then he's also part-time at Regional Director of Eastern Europe Informed Technology Business Solutions, and then he's full-time and COO co-founder of RoboSoft, which means that the CEO and this dude right here, they're basically involved in RoboSoft in some other way, and they're both kind of full-time employed running this RoboSoft in unison with GT Protocol. Now, when I see this, I figure, like, what is the relationship with RoboSoft and GT Protocol? Is this just something that's going to take away time from their focus to GT Protocol or not? And if you go back to the website, let's see if we can go back there real quick. There's not really anything else. No more doxed individuals here other than these two, which, so be it. But at least we need to have a strong commitment from the two leaders of the team. Okay, so again, take it as you please. Just trying to be very neutral and, bring some things that, I see to light. I'm just going to let you know that it doesn't end there. When we get onto the focus on their socials, these guys, especially him, he's very, very active, which is a good representation to the community. Okay, so let's keep on moving on. We got investors, CEO and founder of ChainGPT. That's a good thing. Investor here, we got some investors and so on. Vice president of KuCoin, former KuCoin exchange VP. Got lots of good things, lots of good individuals part of the team, and definitely advisors. So definitely good. But again, the CEO and the top two right here, CBDO, I'm a bit confused as far as what their dedication is. All right, so that concludes that part. Connect with 70K crypto traders and back to the trading and investing. And I feel like we're bouncing around way too much, bouncing around to do too many different things. We went from the team, and now we're back talking about the AI thing and the Telegram community. I personally don't like Telegram. I prefer Discord. Discord has a lot more features with regards to keeping your conversations clean and clear. which was good, which is good because obviously if you have any questions, you can jump on there and get that done. Continuing going down, you got some links, your Twitter, we'll take a look at that, the LinkedIn, go check that out, and the use case, we went through all of this already. So there's some links that I was able to find that might be useful. Let's see what we got here. We checked that out, we checked this out. Let's see what's going on here with the token. So the token itself, the token distribution, obviously it is a Binance Smart Chain type of token. It's built on the Binance Smart Chain, so I'm wondering if ever they get on their a native or a proprietary blockchain of their own. And if we look at the holders, we can take a look at what's going on here, and we can open up the pie chart, and we can see that, you know, it's fairly well distributed, but we got one wallet here with 21% and 14%, 7%, and these are wallets that have to be investigated. Technically speaking, these are a bunch of wallets that are very, very important. If we click into here, we see that it's part of the token address, we see the contract address and so on, their overall market cap. So I want to know what these wallets are about. And the reality is, I believe because there's not many tokens in circulation, there's still a lot more that need to enter. These are probably all locked up. So of course, a little bit of research with regard to these wallets would be very useful, but not the greatest look when you see top 3, top 4 wallets holding the tokens, the majority of the tokens. Okay, so keep that in mind, and I'm going to show you some more information very, very soon with regards to that. And usually, you know, in these wallets, either they're listed on a white paper of some sort explaining what those wallets are, or sometimes we get some information right here somewhere that shows us, you know, this is a contract wallet, this is this type of wallet, and so on. So that would be very useful, but nothing there, so more research needs to be done. All right, so let's move on. In line with that, let's get into this. Okay, so about the tokens itself, right? We saw what kind of distribution there is. Now we can see that the seed round, they got a 50% discount on tokens at Genesis. There's a 2-month cliff, so after 2 months they start, you know, getting released within a 24-month period, and you can see that that's a bit of a bit of an issue. Now it's over 2 years long. It's 2 years vesting period, so that means that it's not going to happen all at once. However, guys, we know that these individuals have a lot of incentive to sell on the market, given the fact that, you know, they got not only did they get a 50% discount, but as the bull run continues, we should see GT protocol do well. And if that's the case, there's even more incentive to sell based on the profitability aspect of things. So the dilution over time on those unlocks via the vesting period, you know, it definitely puts pressure on the price to come down. But as long as demand outperforms supply, that's one thing that I always want to premise with everybody, because a lot of times when we look at this scenario, we think, oh, unlock is just going to cause a dump. Not always the case. If the demand outperforms that extra supply that's entering the market, expect at best case scenario the price goes sideways until it recuperates and the supply shock kicks in when there's no more being released into circulation until the next unlock. Okay, so understand that. Then we got private, we got calls in public, so we got all of this happening right now, which is, you know, not really the greatest look, because if you look at the if we look at it, how many is allocated, we're looking at 26 plus 4% plus another 2%. And if you keep on going down, we have advisory and the team, which in my book, you know, are very related to these types of individuals. They're early investors, early team, the team and the early stakeholders. If you think about it, you're looking at 38% right here, and then the team another 8%, and the advisors another 4%, which is a lot of tokens. That's significantly more or less about 40% of the tokens are locked up or within reach of the early investors, early stakeholders of this protocol, which kind of bothers me. And yes, it's part of, there is a vesting period and it's all staked up, and you know, it will get released over time, but it's not really necessarily a fair launch here, given the fact that, you know, a lot of the early investors and early stakeholders have access to a lot of the liquidity. So for me, that's a bit iffy, a little bit like you know, not really fair. But if we keep on going on, you can see that there's a bit of liquidity, 28% to get listed on exchanges, and you can see how many listings were already there, and it's not locked up whatsoever. There's a vesting period, but zero cliff, so it means instantly getting out there, and 19% of it was issued at Genesis. Advisory, again, early investors, team, who knows who those people are really. Ecosystem incentives, I like this one. I think more should be allocated to the ecosystem, because then they can grow their ecosystem. And if there's utility in their ecosystem has utility, there's more value for the token. The token itself goes up in value because there's a purpose to hold that token. If the ecosystem stays flat and there's no stimulus to increase that, third-party ecosystem growth, it's likely that the utility of the token stays flat, or just depends on their native applications that they got going on, which are good, which are nice and robust for sure. Marketing 9%, maybe a little bit more there for sure. The DAO, it is governed by a DAO, which is obviously a good thing, especially when you're dealing with certain amount of liquidity that needs to be controlled, and so on and so forth. So right now, at this current moment, we see that the DAO is going to be, in control of some of the liquidity. And of course, if you want to be an individual that can vote on certain, certain things that happen, certain decisions, and the way the capital is being spent, you have to be a token holder in order to achieve that. So that's a good thing. The decentralized aspect of the organization, and of course not making it a security, this actually definitely does help. Staking pools, of course, 6% on the staking pools and so on. So if you kind of see what's going on here, the distribution of the tokens is not the best, but it because of the vesting period, it's all right. And you can see over the months, after a while, after 20 months or so, the majority of the tokens start to get unlocked, right? So we're talking about, next in 2 years. That's the reality. The majority of we're going to be waiting for this bull run. Throughout the bull run, we're going to be getting token unlocks. So what I feel like is, within the next year and a half, we should see this bull run create a scenario where there's going to be a lot of demand, and any token unlocks will get bought up real quick. But just keep in mind that sell pressure as those unlocks do happen. Okay, so keep in mind, this is a bit of a synopsis of how the tokens are going to enter circulation. And then, of course, this is a very, very useful, so you can see visually where the tokens are going to be allocated over time, and who's going to be involved. Like the private sale, that's a big chunk. And then the team, another big chunk. Of course, the liquidity is necessary for exchanges and all that listing. And the marketing, I'm sure it's going to be governed by the DAO, the decision making and so on. But if, this is the thing here, guys. This is not completely a fair launch, just to say. Let's move on. Sell pressure over time. We know that as the tokens enter the market and reach fully dilution, the sell pressure is obviously going to come down, and token inflation, obviously, as we reach max supply. So very straightforward information here. Take it as you will. Just know that it could be slightly outdated, given the fact that a lot of these documents were and are created early on in time. So we got to keep that in mind. All right, so let's move on. What do we got here? We got a bit of a white paper. So I went through the tokenomics, which is good. Some of the key characteristics of the token metrics, and then here we're gonna look over some of the details, which honestly we covered on the website significantly already, and we went through the tokenomics. So we can go through this really quickly. Introduction, a lot of the things that we've already talked about, some of the core competencies and the value proposition, the technology, the protocol ecosystem. So this is important. This is the three main platforms that they got going on. There is very, very defined GT app, and so on, and the frequently asked questions, the roadmap, guys. Let's check out this roadmap. It's very clear. I like the roadmap. Fine. Q1, Q2, we're doing great. So in the sense that they have a key objectives for the first quarter and the second quarter, and they're at least they have some sort of time frame, which is good, because then we know where they're going to be allocating their resources and where they're pushing to get what they're pushing to get done. So that's very useful, and we can expect, as these things get hit, we can expect again a little bit more hype, a little bit more demand in the project, and maybe we'll basically balance out that those token unlocks. Frequently asked questions: what products of the ecosystem? We talked about that. Has a product been launched? Yes, there is an active product, which is good. Can we purchase the token? Yes, it's already available. For sure. If there's retail customers, sure. Lots of good information. Let's see what's going on with the token, which we talked about already. Utility. These are some key features, guys. You get fee discounts, trading fee discounts, a lot of discounts, let's put it that way, and API fees. If you're going to use the API and the SDK, vendor fees, you got to pay for the SDK and the API, apparently, which is sometimes free. Usually it's free for a lot of the cases. Web3 funds, creation and listing fees, of course, listing fees, cashback payouts. So there's a lot of good utility for the token as far as that engagement. And this is directly correlated with the fact that the internal ecosystem, the native ecosystem, as you can see, has a lot of different features, right? All those little different applications of AI require that this token have utility in all of them. And this is why we have a lot of use case for the token. Really good, I guess. And obviously interesting to see that the token can be spread across many aspects of the overall protocol. So yeah, it's pretty good. What I like best is, of course, the DAO and the governance. If you're a token holder, you can come in and vote on different things that happen on the thing on within the protocol. You have to have GTAI DAO tokens in your wallet in order to get involved. So feel free to check that out if you're interested. There's definitely some good stuff there. You can buy it on Bybit, PancakeSwap, and many more. There's contests and so on. But you can see that, coupled with the website and the tokenomics and a little bit of this documentation, no official white paper just yet, but it's not bad. The only thing that it keeps me a little bit reserved is how disjointed the website is, but ultimately you can walk away with some good information. All right, so let's move on from there. Let's take a look at their Twitter. You can see that they're very active here, and I appreciate that significantly. Like, you can see that there's a lot happening here. They're very active in the community, posting lots of pictures with Bybit and Bybit team, live events and GTA app and things like that, posting stats, speaking at Token 2049, very bullish. That's good stuff, and keep on going on. There's the co-founder of GT Protocols making statements everywhere, so that's a good thing, being recordings and all of that. So I'm happy to see that, and they're getting some engagement. 86 retweets on a small project. That's good. Lots of things happening here. A live space, join the space, unveiling the secrets to Web3 startup success. So this is good. When you see a team getting involved in the ecosystem, definitely good stuff. So I'm happy to see that. What else do we have here? Let's take a look at, let's go back to the CoinGecko. Let's go back to CoinGecko. We can see that the price in the last little while has been doing really good. In fact, it got a bit of a pop in the last 24 hours above that $2 mark, which is really healthy. Its market cap, it's only a $20 million market cap, which means it's quite small. And that means that there's a lot of potential growth for it to catch up to big players within the AI space. And the AI space right now is still undervalued, in my opinion. There's still a lot more growth in that aspect of things. However, I do feel like its competitive space is definitely there. They have a lot of competition in that space. We're seeing that a lot of projects are intertwining with AI in every aspect, gaming, DeFi, and so on. Many different applications are integrating AI into their product offering. So just keep in mind that we're battling now for market cap, and at a $20 million market cap is very small with a lot of potential growth to the upside. Fully diluted, it's still small. Even if all coins were in circulation at the current moment, you can see that the project is still valued very low. 24-hour trading volume is quite high given its market cap. It's significantly high. And look at that nice pop to the upside. Circulating supply, we only have 9 million tokens, 8.5 million tokens in circulation, and the max supply is at 75 million. So guys, there's still a lot of tokens that need to enter the market right now. This is a new project that's just getting started. So yes, if you do feel like you need to get a bit of an allocation, start looking at big picture, because it could be a good gainer in the next little while. What else do we have? We have obviously the Binance Smart Chain contract and a lot of good links for you to go forward. And we did talk about all the exchanges, guys. This thing's listed everywhere. It's got a lot of good listings, Bing X, and a lot more, Pollenex, and so many more. Okay, so keep an eye on that. That's good, because at the end of the day, if you want liquidity, if you want to trade, if you want to get in and out of the market, there's lots of centralized and decentralized exchanges to offer you those features. All right, guys, let's summarize using the infographic. Guys, I'm going to make this infographic available to you guys on the socials, so feel free to follow me on X and so on, and join the Discord, guys. The Discord, I'll post this on the Discord for sure. All right, guys, let's look into this in a little detail. Just to recap, the ecosystem is basically most of it is internalized applications, native applications. You have the AI conversational interface, Web3 investment pools, AI auto trading strategies, and copy trading. Guys, I'm going to give that 8 out of 10. I would like to see third-party applications, and to be honest, the whole overall copying trading and trading strategies type of thing, it doesn't really do it well for me, so I'm going to give it 8 out of 10 there. Utility for the token itself, guys, very robust. It's pretty much everywhere. Too much of a good thing sometimes is not the greatest, right? So we discounts, vendor fees, rewards, DAO voting, purchases, and much more. However, guys, we can see the disjointedness amongst the ecosystem. Too much happening for this for the token. It could be a good thing, no doubt, but usually when I see a objective spread itself way too thin, it gets a little bit difficult, right? And the utility gets blurred throughout all of the ecosystem itself. So not bad of a scenario. The roadmap is stellar, really good. At least we're getting some real commitments there with regards to time frame, which I really appreciate. They're thinking about their GTAI assistant, Web3 fund version 2 for the indicator, crypto education, which for me is right on point. I believe that that's a great app utility and focus for any crypto project, especially with regards to AI and trading signals. I'm on the fence about. You guys know that. The team is good, guys. I'm not saying that it isn't. However, the fact that it's doxed in such a way that you get a bit of ambiguity with the relationship that they have with Robosoft leaves me a little bit skeptical as far as their commitment to the GT protocol. Now, it doesn't mean that it's the case, but I would like to know a little bit more about that. And in fact, it should be very clear. CEO has blockchain experience, which is good, but it's also full-time at Robosoft. The CBDO is the co-founder of Robosoft and is also full-time employed to Robosoft. So that means there's something happening there with the Robosoft, and there should be some sort of relationship there. Educational background is not made available, particularly for the CBDO. So in that case, you know, it leaves a little bit of gray. So I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10 there. The socials, pretty good here, guys. Although, you know, the socials are up 326% as far as followers go, and then from the last 30 days, and down 27% for their posts, which tells me that they should be a little bit more active given right now that the overall crypto space is falling, but they are still being very active, that's the thing. I'm seeing a lot of social engagement, a lot of, you know, collaborations with other individuals in the crypto space. So that's really healthy, and I'm going to give them 10 out of 10 right there. And they're well connected amongst many outlets like Discord and Telegram and so on and so forth. Let's move on. Tokenomics, vesting schedule, nice and clear. Many tokens still need to enter the market. That could definitely be a pullback for some people, you know, not really trusting the fact that, you know, the early stakeholders got discounts on the tokens, and those individuals, as the tokens get unlocked, could there be sell pressure within the next 24 months, which is directly aligned for this bull run. So which means that during this bull run, we're going to be facing some sell pressure off those unlocks. The issue is here that we have to understand is that the demand could and should outperform the supply, and at best the price goes sideways, and in fact, given the bullishness in the market, we should be moving to the upside. So I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 gifts based on the fact that token distribution could be a little bit better. 6 out of 10 for partnerships, given the fact that the only thing that keeps me really bullish here is the capital backers, like you know, the venture capitalists. In this case, the venture capitalists are providing a lot of early liquidity in the market, a lot of capital to get this project going earlier on, which led them to be able to be listed on all exchanges, like on pretty much all exchanges. We're talking about heavyweights, Binance, and of course KuCoin and MEXC, all the up and coming ones, and many more, and that's a good thing. But again, those venture capitalists got an early allocation in the seed rounds of these of the tokens, and they got major discounts, which means again the token unlock pressure. Exchanges are not partners. That's something that I've learned very early on. They get listed, they get delisted. There's no commitment there, there's no scaffolding there, there's no strategic partnership in any exchanges. So going forward, if you ever see a project list exchanges as partners, think critically about the rest of them, because those logos don't really mean much unless they're strategic. Retail vendors network, these are part of the ecosystem, not necessarily partners. Okay, so they're both taking risk, trying to get involved in this new wave of technology, and I don't see this to be particularly a partnership, but nonetheless an ecosystem type of agreement. So it's still good, still really good to have this growth within their ecosystem with regards to the vendors, because then you get utility and use case. So pretty good. Exchanges everywhere, like I mentioned. Now, this could be a benefit or a drawback. Now, I look at it as a benefit from a trading perspective because you have liquidity, tons of liquidity on many exchanges. However, if you're one of those traders that wait for listings, wait for an exchange to list a particular token, guys, don't hold your breath because they're already listed pretty much everywhere. All you're waiting for is Coinbase, and if that happens, great. And if it doesn't, we already got the major ones: Binance, KuCoin, Bybit, Mexi, and many, many more. And we also have Uniswap and PancakeSwap. Of course, it being a Binance Smart Chain, a BNB token, we expect it to be on Uniswap and PancakeSwap for sure. So that's a good thing, 10 out of 10 for sure for the liquidity aspect of things. And in the last little while, in the last 24 hours, the price has been rising. So we're definitely not at $1.84. And a lot of these metrics have changed in the last little while because of it. So we're above the $2 price currently. And we'll take a look at the charts in a second to give us a little bit of an idea of how we can get into this market. The verdict, my overall verdict, guys. You know, the verdict was difficult because I'm bullish, no doubt. I'm bullish on all crypto. However, there are some things that we keep in mind. It is part of a very bullish narrative. AI, DeFi, the bot narrative could be very interesting, given that the general market wants to become traders. It's a very you know, it's an occupation that everybody wants to get involved in. So for me, you know, that's a good thing. But also, I'm not crazy about this narrative AI bringing in bots into artificial intelligence into trading and giving signals and all of that. It never really works out, to be honest. 44% allocation to early stakeholders. I'm going to be very vague about that, but if you look at the distribution, a lot of the tokens are set to early stakeholders. You know, the team, basically the team and the seed rounds and all the other things that happened earlier on that got discounted. The individuals that got discounts on the tokens are a bit of an issue for me. However, at least there's a vesting period. There are, you know, they're locked up until you know, the schedule hits, and then obviously we're going to get slow, gradual unlocks through and tokens hitting the market slowly. So that's the good thing. Lots of use case, of course, in line with the complexity of the ecosystem. I spoke about that many times. The ecosystem, although it is all native, it is very complex. Lots of different moving parts and lots of different product offerings, and it could be a little bit disjointed. Ecosystem applications are all native. Venture capital support allows the project to afford being listed on exchanges, and many other features and many other marketing aspects that are necessary. They got the capital to do it, right? A lot of projects that we've seen in the past that did fair launch don't have the capital to move forward, which is a bit of a problem for a new project. They want the liquidity, they want the capital to invest into their ecosystem, into their growth and so on, and they don't have it, where these guys do have it. But the drawback is, again, early stakeholders. Cleared roadmap with a timeline, stellar. I'm noticing a lot of projects nowadays don't feel the need to give road maps and an idea, to give investors and individuals that are part of the ecosystem an idea of where they are pushing forward, and this is a good thing. The team is doxed. However, the information that is gathered, and it's only the top two guys that are doxed, but the Robosoft connection and commitment is questionable. I don't know what's going on with the Robosoft kind of thing and the full-time employment there, and the commitment, again, like I mentioned, it could be a bit questionable. Very active within the X community, which is good. I see a lot of good, you know, engagement and being, you know, FaceTime with the community, which is good. And then little engagement on Telegram. I wish there was a little bit more there happening, but nonetheless, pretty good. GTAI with the market cap of AGIX, and the only reason why I'm saying AGIX is because it's one of the top-ish, larger type of crypto AI coins projects. It's not the biggest, but it's a decent target. And trying to be modest, and still being modest, we're looking at a 74x capability. And to be more in line with the modesty, I'm going to say if we would reach close to $100, guys, that's a great gainer. That's a great gainer. And of course, their focus, if they meet their objectives, if they actually get to where they want to go, I don't see why we can't see this coin or the token trade at about $100. And if that were to be the case, that would be a great time to start getting defensive on the gains and start putting, you know, some stop losses, putting some you know, sell orders to take profit, and so on and so forth. And given the entire package, I'm going to give this project an 8 out of 10. Decent project. project. All right, guys, I know you're here to talk about charts as well, so let's take a look at the price action. What's been going on here with the GT protocol? Got a bit of a pop in the last little while, and do we expect it to continue to the upside given the fact that the market is looking for a bottom? Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. Now, you know, as a trader myself, I like to look at the big picture. Big picture trading for me as a momentum, as a swing trader, swinging through momentum tops to momentum bottoms, I try to find the best time to get in. And you can see that we're really rock bottom currently at this evaluation. At this current price at $2 more or less, it's very low. Now, we did get a nice pop to the upside. However, the structure is still contained. What I mean by that, we're still making those lower lows and lower highs, which shows me that we still have some potential to continue down. However, if we start looking at other indicators and the current scenario that we're in with regards to volume and market participation, it does suggest that we could expect a pivot to the upside for a bit of relief, big time relief, where we start breaking trend. So let's look at this in a bit detail here. Going forward, we can see that we're losing a bit of volume as we're coming down here. So it's going to lose steam. The bears are going to lose steam. And we're hitting a nice level, a level of which, you know, I expected it to be the last line in the sand. And guess what? We hit that last line in the sand. This was the volume gap that we fell right through. We hesitated right in the middle and we fell right through empty, weak spots right in this area. And to be honest, future price action is going to get reactions right around this area. So I'm going to keep these in for now. And we fell right through. So if you happen to buy dips, it's always important to understand that the risk is associated with continuations to the downside unless you get market structure suggesting otherwise. And at the current moment, there is no market structure suggesting that we're going to get a bounce, right? All we have is horizontal supports, last line in the sand of horizontal support, which is at about $1.81, and we got a nice reaction to the upside. Look at these bottoms, look at this bottom, look at this little bottom, and the current bottom that we're in that we got to bounce off. Now I want to let's pay attention to volume here for a second now, and kind of like exclude this. Let's exclude this off the chart and just look at what's happening here at the current moment. Is there market participation here? We do have a bit of market participation. We do got a bit of volume kind of building into this area. However, nowhere near as much as it was at this level. At this level, it feels like a lot of people had conviction of that bounce, of a bit of support, and we did not get it. There's a lot of emotional individuals here that bought, and you can see why, because I obviously thought that that would have also been a great horizontal support. And as you can see, it didn't work out. Let me see if I can arrange this a little bit better so I can see if I can just focus on this. I want to see how much volume. Like, there's a lot of volume, unless you stop yourself out here. They're still holding the bag, you know, and they're still holding and hoping that we get support. And a lot of these individuals that bought here, I can bet you that there are individuals that bought here as well that are trying to DCA, trying to, you know, recuperate and bring their average cost down to lower levels. So based on volume, guys, we're getting a bit of market participation. Is it enough to suggest a bounce? I would have loved to see a little bit more. And how are we going to get more volume down here? Is by going sideways a little bit longer, getting more confirmations, more bottoms, more, you know, few dips, and some signs on momentum and trend oscillators suggesting that we're going to get that bounce. So let's do that. Let's take a look at the momentum. First, we can see that we got an expansion wave to the downside, and as the expansion did get mature, we are slowly making some peaks and valleys to the upside, showing that the expansion to the downside is getting weaker over time. And you can see the volatility is also pushing up as we are trying to move up and we come back down, and we are slowly trying to make a trend to the upside with regards to the volatility. But the major indicator for me that we need to wait for is the purple line, the momentum. Is the momentum currently bottomed out? Are we done? Are we ready to get into overbought conditions? Did we get oversold? Not quite. When was the last time we got oversold on the daily, guys? We didn't ever, right? This is the scenario. Now the question is, do we get into oversold conditions into a deeper state, meaning falling below the 30% mark? If we fall below the 30%, guys, we're in a very oversold condition, guys. That's usually the best time to get into a long position and start looking for bullish divergences, is when we are in oversold conditions. All right, so speaking of bullish divergences, you can see that this momentum, the momentum waves, the expansion of the momentum is pretty much going upwards. We have the volatility that's slowly making higher lows. We have the momentum itself, which is now getting across above the moving average, which is healthy. Hopefully it stays above. Maybe a bit of a back test on that yellow line to ensure that that's the case, that we're trying to change the trend. But we got a double bottom. Okay, so we have a little bit of data here to suggest that yes, maybe we're moving to the upside. But what's happening with the price action? Let's take a look. You can see that the price action is making a lower high, a lower low. And the price action, as it's making a lower low, we have to exclude the wicks, guys. When you're doing divergences, exclude the wicks, because momentum oscillators do not include wicks. And you can see that as the price is coming down, momentum is going sideways, which is a class C bullish divergence. It's class C bullish divergence. And then all of a sudden we have the waves moving up and the momentum moving up, which is a class A bullish divergence. So we do have signs of bullish divergence at these bottoms, and guess what? At horizontal support, last line of support. So many individuals are going to start to think, look, if I'm going to take risk, this is the time to start to take risk with a bit more confidence. At these levels, you notice that the momentum was not oversold. In fact, at this green arrow, when we came down to this level, you notice that we were starting to get our first touch of oversold conditions. And then we fell even further and started coming down even further. This is why it's important, and this is why I stress that you wait. If you feel that we're exiting the chop zone and going down, because we stayed in the chop zone for a good amount of time, but as soon as you see that the purple line is escaping the chop zone and getting oversold, be careful, because we're coming down for another dip. And now the question is, the dip over? Let's look at the trend. Is there a change of character in the trend? We got a nice bullish divergence here. However, at the same time, we did attempt to invalidate the bullish divergence. This, a wave of a trend to the downside did not invalidate, because it didn't make a lower low here based on this wave to the downside. However, the EMAs are still coming down, grinding to the downside, and the MACD is getting one little green histogram bar to the upside, which is healthy. And it's an indication that maybe we're getting that pivot. And I like the fact that we went from dark blue to light blue, and every time that happens, we usually get some sort of reaction from the bulls. And obviously, as can be seen, we are getting that reaction. So what I would be doing in the short term is potentially understanding that your invalidation on the daily is below this line right here, which is at about $1.78. If we come back and start breaking below the $1.78 mark, once again, guys, expect that we are going to break below and start falling into the abyss of dip discovery, which means coming down to much lower levels, unfortunately. Okay, so where are you going to put your stop loss? Right underneath this wick at about $1.70, $1.75, give or take. Give it a bit of wiggle room just in case, because we honestly, I know that this brings in a bit of ambiguity, because we don't know if we're going to hold support on this bottom at $1.26 or at this bottom at $1.70. We don't know, but really this bottom and this bottom, if it breaks below, guys, it's not a good look. I wouldn't want to be in a trade anyway. I wouldn't mind taking the loss and getting out and going back to the drawing board and regrouping and figuring things out. Now, with that being said, the best entry is going to be one that you can bring as close as possible to invalidation, which again is below that line. Let's get that setup going so you can see what I mean. We can get in, let's put hypothetical right now, just for now, and we can put a stop loss right underneath here, and then we can say take profit. Healthily speaking, we break right through that volume gap and just get back to the zone. Or we can be very modest and say, you know what, we just get back to the top of the wedge or type of thing, because this could be a descending wedge over time, and we take profit. At this rate, it's a horrible ratio. Really, really horrible. You don't want to get into that, right? Like, let's fix the entry. It's 1-to-1 pretty much. Forget about that. That's not a trading scenario. However, if you can bring your entry down a little bit lower, given the fact that it did go very green, and we can come back to above, I would say $1.90 to confirm these lows right here. Let's get into a lower time frame, because now we're trying to, nickel and dime for a better entry. And you can see, like, again, the daily looks like it might want to get that bullish divergence, and we can see the trend kind of moving to the upside here. EMA's facing up, green histogram bars to the upside, even here on the 4-hour, which is looking really good. So if we come down and we test these candles on the left, it's starting to look like an inverse head and shoulder, right? And that's when our entry is going to be looking really, really good. Let me show you what I mean. If we come down to about this zone, right around here, and we come down, get rejected, let's get a pen mark going, we get a pen mark going, and we maybe get rejected even right now and come down, make that right shoulder, and then move back up. That would be a very healthy scenario. Okay, let's keep that in mind, that a little bit of a back test to get a better entry, because then your stop loss being down here and your entry being right around here gives you a way better risk to reward ratio. So in that case, you're looking at a 3-to-1. And we're not even talking about, you know, breaking through this empty volume gap, which is not that empty anymore, because look, we got this sideways consolidation that gave us a spike of volume. So I would be very careful as we exit the $2.70 mark. I would slowly trail up a stop loss and take it a bit of profit off the table. But really, our entries is not bad, especially as we come down for another dip. If we do come down for another dip, just understand we're making a lower low right now and lower highs, and the trend is our friend. And until we confirm the fact that we made a higher low and then break out for a higher high, guys, there's still a potential downside here, and we can come test that $1.80 mark and even sweep the lows for another dip, maybe coming down for an extension level for another dip to the downside. So be very careful here with your entries. Don't try to catch a falling knife. Let's build a bit of a structure that suggests a pivot or a change of character in the structure, and then we can get in with a better risk to reward ratio, with a bit of confluence and confidence going forward. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor, slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description below. Feel free to join the Discord, guys. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.